This is the model 2125 HD 2-inch gold hand dredge from Gold Sniffer Products. Today what I want to show you is how to change the intake flapper. Now what we have to do, first thing, is we have to take out the 3 screws that hold it in. You want to make sure that when you pull the valve apart, you don't bend the fastener. That's very important because the fastener is going to sit underneath the stop that's inside and holds the flapper to the valve inside the pump. If the fastener is straight, then the fastener won't be able to fit, or I should say the fastener won't fit underneath the stop. The fastener needs to fit under the stop. That way it'll hold the flapper in place as you're pumping. Okay, more than likely if your flapper failed after days of hand dredging, it's because the mounting tab broke off. And so now, the reason that happened is because when the pump is worked and the flapper opens to let the rocks and the gold and the sand and everything in the water go through, it opens right there at that score line. So eventually what happens after hours and hours and days of dredging, the fatigue takes the best on this and it breaks. So then it's time to replace it. Sometimes when you're going to install a new flapper, what you'll notice is that the flapper is off to one side a little bit. It's not perfectly lined up on the edges with the outside edges of the valve. An easy way to handle that is to grab the fastener with the pliers and twist it to get the timing right. So when you replace it, you have to take into consideration a couple things. First thing you have to do is you have to fit the new flapper. So what you have to do is you have to get the flapper and you have to insert it in right where the stop is right here that the fastener butts up against. You have to place that in there and you have to make sure that the flapper fits inside. So what you may need to do is you may need to round off the back of the flapper until it fits in the pump properly. So you could tell if it fits in the pump properly by getting a flashlight and putting it underneath and looking. You can see there's pretty much light all around the flapper, and the diameter of the flapper is the same as the inside diameter of this rim right here. So it should fit in. This one over here hasn't been rounded off on the back yet, so you could see right there that there's a big gap of light. That big gap of light tells you that that fastener is going to be sticking out beyond, and when you assemble the pump, the fastener is going to be exposed and it's not going to be underneath the stop the way it should be. On this one here, you could see that the fastener is not sitting underneath the stop. And on this one here, you can see that the fastener is sitting underneath the stop, and that's what you want. As you reinstall the valve to the pump, you want to make sure that the fastener is straight. If the fastener is straight, then the fastener won't be able to fit, or I should say the fastener won't fit underneath the stop. The fastener needs to fit under the stop. That way it'll hold the flapper in place as you're pumping. Is when you're inserting the valve back into the pump, you want to make sure you don't bend the fastener. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull the fastener away from the pump body and insert the tab underneath the stop that's inside the pump. Oh man.